Hey, welcome everybody to the Daily Mastermind. For today, I'm Paul Baxter with Mortgage Mastermind Group, and we are here to help you grow. Guys and girls, excuse me, we're going to be talking about Facebook marketing. Specifically, we're going to talk about the stuff that the gurus don't want you to know is available, because as soon as you know it's available and that you could do it and manage it in a very easy way, they'd be out of a commission and wouldn't be able to take your money quite as easily, because they hold those expertise and the little ninja tricks back so that they've got reason to show you extra things that they can do and things that they can pull off. Well, we're going to kind of put all those things out there in today's presentation. So let's go ahead and get started. So what we're going to cover are the not so common or a not so common tool that's available to you that can cut out a lot of the time wasting that happens when you're using Facebook. We're going to talk specifically about an easy way to do business-to-business marketing on Facebook, and we're going to talk about making a purposeful, planned strategy and then how to actually implement that strategy. So that being said, let's go ahead and dive in first to the tool that I'm talking about, and that tool is a tool called Lists. And this is something that's been available for a little while. Very few and far between use it. And quite frankly, I've known about it for quite a while, and I never really paid it much mind until I listened to a Facebook guru talking about lists and some of the things you can do with it, and I realized, you know what, quite frankly, he's right. It can be used that way, and so I want to show you guys that easy way that I learned recently on how to utilize the list option in Facebook. The way that Facebook describes it is lists are a way to organize things on Facebook, like your friends or things you're interested in. And once you've created these lists, what's cool about it, and this is where the power comes in, is you can actually filter your news feed by the list that you've created. So if you've got a list of past clients, you can look at a news feed of only the activity of your past clients. You can look at a list or a news feed of only the activity of your referral partners. Or if you just want to see what's going on with your personal friends, and you can separate your Facebook like that. I hear it all the time, people talking about how do I keep my Facebook private from my personal. For me personally, I don't think that you want to do that, because I firmly believe that the way to do business on Facebook is through engagement. It's through, liking and sharing and commonality and having normal human being conversations just like you would if you were at a party with someone. Business can come from that. And so I think that people want to get to know you on a personal level. For me, this strategy is not about separating the two, but you can also separate your personal from your business life if you utilize this little strategy here. So the way that you do it is on the left-hand side of your home screen. So as you can see clearly, I'm on my home screen. That's my account here. If you look down on the left-hand side, you've got your different lists and things. Well, one of them says Friends on it. So you'll locate where your Friends section is on the left-hand side, or your navigation tools, so to speak, on Facebook. And once you've located it, what you do is you actually mouse over it. You hover your mouse over the section there, and you'll get an option that pops up that says More. Now notice that when I'm not hovered over that, the more is not just sitting there. I actually had to mouse over that section, Friends, to get the More button to appear. You're just going to click on that button. And once you do, you're going to notice you already have some default lists. How many of us on the call right now have ever looked at lists on Facebook? Anybody? Any of us used lists before? That's a pretty quiet crowd, so I'm assuming, well, I know what happens when you assume things, but I'm going to go ahead and assume that none of you have used, or a vast majority, no, never. That's what most of the people on the call are remaining silent, and those that have said something are saying never. So I'm going to assume that most of you have never looked at lists. Well, one of the cool things about it is that by default, you already have lists created by Facebook based on your profile and based on your interests that you've expressed on Facebook. So you've got your schools. If you go into lists right now, you'll notice that your schools, whether it be your college or your high school, whatever you've tagged as your schools, there's a list for those. Your work, most of the time, most of us have a list. If we've tagged our work or that we work for a specific company, there's a list in there for that. By default, it creates a close friends list, and then it also has some of your interests will be listed there as a list. Those don't account to much of what we're talking about here today, but just know when you go into lists, you'll notice that you have some default lists, whether you set them up yourself or not. And here's some of my default lists. There's my, like I said, my high school. There's my close friends. That one was a default. If you've tagged family members or said somebody is a family member in your profile, there's its own personal list. The area that I live in created its own default little list here for me. Some of the redfish tours, I didn't create this, but because I'm an administrator on these pages, it creates a list for those pages. Very nice and easily done. What we're looking to do with the list is we're going to click on and make a new list. So we're going to create list. Once you click on create list, you get this little box that pops up, and it's pretty simple. It asks you to give it a list name and then list members. Now for the members, and I see a question popped up in there. So how can we create other lists? That's what I'm showing you now. So the default lists are these that are already in here. To create a new one, you just click on this button, create list. And that's going to give you this pop-up box to come up. Okay, and you just give it your list a name, like past clients. I called this one Masterminds while I was going through it, and you may notice your name, if you're on this call with me, your name is on this list. This is the list of all the people who are members of the Mastermind group. Okay. When you put the name in, now the members box is just going to be empty. The way that you add people to the list of members is that you simply start typing in their name. Now, because I'm friends on Facebook, again, you can't do this with people you're not friends with. You can't if they're not your friend. How can you add them to a list, right? Makes sense. You may be experiencing degraded audio quality. Is everybody? I got a little pop-up on my screen. Is everybody hearing me okay? Just do a quick sound check. I don't want to distract us too terribly much, but I'm getting a message from GoToMeeting that I may be experiencing deteriorated audio quality. Okay. Cool. Thank you, guys. Sorry about stepping away from you doing that, but wanted to make sure. Awesome. Thank you so much. So you simply start typing in your friend's name, and because it's Facebook, what will happen is a little thumbnail. It popped open Alan Gross's profile and his little picture, so I clicked that and added him. Same thing with Peggy. I started typing in PEG, and Peggy's profile name came up. Now, if it's a name like Jeff, somebody, like I've got a whole lot of friends named Jeff, so when I started typing in Jeff, it gave me 6 options. You know, it gave me Jeff Northcutt, it gave me Jeff Winthrop, it gave me Jeff Kirkpatrick, it gave me Jeff Cart. All of the Jeffs that I'm associated with came up on the list, and I simply had to click on the one that I wanted to add to this list. So it's very easy to add people to the list. Now, I don't have a slide showing this particular thing, but as a side note to give you guys instruction, when you get a new friend, when you get that friend request, you have the ability when accepting that friend request to add them to a list right then and there. I wanted to show you guys that, but I didn't have any active friend requests in my inbox, so I didn't have the ability to show you that right there. But you do have the ability. It's a simple drop down where when you add a new friend, you can drop down a thing, and one of the options is add to a list, and then when you click that, it'll bring up all your lists. You simply click on the list you want to add them to. Very, very simple to do. But that's the way that you create a new list. Now, once you click Create, you're going to automatically be navigated to the list's news feed. And yes, you heard me correctly. That list now has its own separate news feed that is separate from the regular news feed. That's where the power in this is really, really coming from. Because when you're looking at a list's news feed, you're only seeing posts and activity and engagement from the people who are on that actual list. What that does is, if, let's say it's my past client list, I can go through there and I can now engage with those people through that one news feed very simply. Anybody that I engage with there is going to be a past client engagement. That's how you focus in on engaging with the right people the right way at the right time to ensure that you're endearing yourself to, whether it be a past customer or a realtor, or anything like that. You want to make sure that you're staying engaged with them, and it's really easy to do so if they're in a list and you're just looking at a news feed of only those people in that list. Make lists for any and all of your business-related friends. So you could make a list for realtor partners. You could make a list for divorce attorneys. You can make a list for all of the title reps that you're friends with and want to stay engaged with. You can make a friends list for any and every piece that you want to segment out and make sure that you're focusing on engagement with that particular community or crowd. And this is kind of what it looks like. So I'm on that Masterminds. That's the name of the list that I've got. It's got a little thumbnail of all the people on my list, and then I can't scroll through it. That's a PowerPoint slide. As you scroll down, you'll notice that all of the posts and engagement happens right. You're right there, just looking at only the stuff from your active, the members of that list. Really, really powerful. If you want to, let's say you've created a list for past clients and you've created a list for referral partners, and you want to, you've just got through and added your list, you want to view people from that list. Let's say 2 days from now you want to go in and incorporating, and we're going to talk about a specific plan of action towards the end of today's presentation. And you're incorporating that plan. So each time you go into Facebook, you want to go check out your list and engage with those people. To do it from the home screen, just the same way as you set it up before, you're going to mouse over your friends on the left-hand side. You're going to select that More option. That's going to pop open all of the lists that you've got, and you simply click the name of the list to see the news feed for that. Okay? Now, I see there's a follow-up. Before we dive into the business-to-business stuff I wanted to talk about today, let me check this. Yes, James. So James is asking, all the names on the list must be part of your Facebook friends. Yes, you won't have the ability to add them to a list if they're not friends. So James, as you get more and more involved with social media and Facebook marketing specifically, you're going to get 200 friends. You're going to get to 400, 600, 800, 1,000. And it will be very difficult without the lists to go through your news feed and try and find people to engage with, past clients, based on their posts and things like that. So it's really important to set those lists so that you can cut out all the time wasting, all of that wasted time spent looking for, oh, there's my past client, let me engage with it. It's all right there in front of you. But yes, you do have to be friends with them first in order to add them to a list. And that's something you need to be doing, and everybody on this call, as a side note, everybody on this call needs to be doing that already. If you are not friends with your past clients, you need to make it a point moving forward that every single time you have a new closed transaction, every new customer, every time a new closed transaction, after the closed transaction, the first thing you want to do, well, not first thing, but one of the things on your checklist to do is to send them a friend request on Facebook. No, you won't get 100% of them to friend you back, but the likelihood is you'll be very, very high percent will, because remember, these people are doing business with you on the largest transaction of their life. You've made them feel a way to do business with you, and typically that's a good, warm, and fuzzy feeling, and they like you. So they're going to accept your friend's request most of the time. Yep, you'll get an exception to the rule. I'm not going to sit here and tell you 100% are going to accept your friend request. But if you're not doing so already, you absolutely need to be sending that friend request at the end of the transaction. Just make it part of an additional step that you do in your post-closing steps or scenario or process. Make sure that you include send friend request. And then when they accept your friend request, you go in and you add them to your list. Add them to your list. Add them, keep adding them to your list. It is essential. Listen, guys, girls, Facebook, social media in general is not going anywhere. You don't hear me talk a lot about the Twitter and the Pinterest and the Instagram and the whatever else there is, because the big boy on the block, the big bully of the group, is Facebook. It is growing, not shrinking. It is becoming more and more prevalent. As much crap as people talk about Facebook this, Facebook that, guess what? There's still almost 2 billion people. What is it, 1.6 billion or something is the number I saw recently. I mean, it's disgusting. It's not going anywhere, guys. It's here to stay. Embrace it. Quit running from it. Quit thinking it's going away. Embrace it, because it is here to stay. And just like you pay attention to your past clients for database purposes, you absolutely need to connect with them on a social level. And Joy's saying, I've started friending them on Facebook at the loan application process. Okay, so before you've even gotten them to, just in the in the application process, she's friending them. It makes it so much easier for the loan process, because they then view me as a friend who happens to be helping them with the largest purchase of their life. They talk about you on Facebook when they are active Facebook posters. That's a great idea, and I typically would have said, stick to, just friend them after the thing. But you've got a really great point there, Joy. What Joy is saying is she friends them beforehand or during the application process, because now, especially for those, and it's not the case with 100% of the people again, but for those that are active Facebook users, those that are using Facebook a whole lot, yeah, they're absolutely going to talk about what they do every day. There's this, I mean, the name is popping in my head, Kelly House. She's a high school friend. I've known her since elementary school and past high school. Haven't seen her in 20 years. But I will tell you this, she posts every single thing of every aspect of what's happening. I know the name of her veterinarian. I know the name of the mechanic that works on her car. She posted recently the name of the counselor who helped her daughter enrolling in college. I mean, you name it, it's posted. So that makes 100% sense to me, Joy, and I didn't mean to relate that story to this, but that's the image that's coming through my head as Joy's talking about this, is that active Facebook users will talk about you. They absolutely will during the oh, I'm so grateful for Joy. She is helping me. I didn't know if I was going to be able to buy this home, but my good friend Joy is helping me, and we're able to get into this home. Thank you so much for all the help, Joy. Boom. Cha-ching. Now you're tapping into their database of friends and so on and so forth. And it relates back to what we were just talking about, those friends lists. The more you engage with them, guess what? Their friends are now seeing it. Their friends are seeing you engage on their posts, and you know, they'll start looking you up. And people, trust me on this, if you think people are not looking you up on Facebook, people are definitely Facebook stalking you. I don't care what you're doing, who you are, what you think. People are stalking you on Facebook. Even if you're not friending them at the application, even if you don't friend them after close, whatever the case may be, trust me on this, people are looking you up on Facebook. It's happening. So Jim's asking, could you clarify friend requests to clients for the fan page or the personal page? The personal page. A friend request, when you talk about a friend, it is always on a personal page level. You cannot have any friends on a business page level. What you have on a business page level is called fans. And yeah, you can certainly invite them to like your business page, but it's least likely to happen on the business page on a consumer direct approach than it is on a personal page in a consumer direct approach. Remember, these are people that you're looking to do a transaction with. You want to become their friend and begin engaging in their lives. It goes back to what we were talking about with that list thing. It makes engaging much easier. And we're going to talk about engagement in just a minute here, but you absolutely need to be engaging with your past clients, current clients, all that fun stuff. Yeah. All right, so you must have a fan page to do business-to-business marketing on Facebook. 70, by the way, and this is a huge statistic that I didn't even know until I read it, 78% of Fortune 500 companies have a Facebook fan page presence now. 2 years ago, it was less than 50%. 2 years ago, less than 50% of Fortune 500 companies had a page on Facebook. Today, 78%. Do you think the bigwigs, the CEOs of the Fortune 500 companies are not recognizing that it's not going away? Instead of running from it or ignoring it, you better dive in both feet, embrace it. Consumers will search for your business on Facebook. Prospective clients will search for your business on Facebook, and guess what? If they don't find it on Facebook, they see your business as less than equal than the other businesses in the same category that do have a fan page. It does make a difference. Whether it's up to date, you know, super fantastic or not, does not make as much a difference as finding you on Facebook in a business manner. That makes a difference. People look at you as if you are less than the other companies that have that stuff, because that's commonplace now. It's normal. It's not, ooh, he's got a Facebook fan page, a business page, that's cool. No, that's normal now. If you don't have a fan page, you are behind the 8 ball severely. So make sure you get one. And what's cool is you can engage with your referral partners and local businesses as your fan page or as your business page. Your partners are trying to get noticed on Facebook as well as you are. Look, just as I'm talking to you about having a fan page on Facebook, trust me, your referral partners, your business partners, your business-to-business marketing partners like your attorneys and your title companies and people like that, your real estate agents, they know they need to have that business presence on Facebook too, and they're trying to figure out ways to get people to notice their Facebook fan page as well. So what's really cool is just a couple of simple engagements will actually prompt them to engage back with you, and you're doing it on a business-to-business level. So here's how you do that. The first thing you're going to do on the right On the top right-hand side of the Facebook is a little drop-down menu. So on the top right of Facebook, it kind of goes your name and then home, and then it's got your notifications and your friend requests, and then it's got your security settings, and then there's by itself a little drop-down arrow. When you drop down that arrow, the first option that appears is use Facebook as, and then you'll see a list of all your business pages. If you've only got one, you're just going to see the one there, but you'll see it listed there. What you're going to do is you're going to select the page you want to engage other businesses with, and then once you've selected that page, click the home button. What you're going to notice is that you're now seeing a news feed, not of your friends or the stuff you engage, but only the businesses that you have liked as your business. Now, I want to make sure that we're clear on that. If you are, as your business is a different profile than your personal profile, your business page can like other businesses and engage with other businesses' posts on a business-to-business level. What I've just instructed you how to do is to reduce that news feed to only see a news feed of other businesses, so that you're focused in, you're logged in as your business, and you're focused in to engaging with the other businesses that you've liked. Now, if you go there, if your news feed is empty, all you need to do is go and like the other business pages that you want to do this strategy with. And there's a follow-up. So review that again. Sure, absolutely. What I'm instructing you to do here is how to take away all of the clutter that Facebook sometimes can have with advertisements and sponsored stories and so on and so forth. And you're logging in. You're now logging in as your profile on your business page. Instead of being Paul Baxter, I'm logging in as Mortgage Mastermind Group. And that's what my profile shows. But because I'm a business, pages can only engage with other pages. Makes sense? I can't, as my business page, I can't go to James Bukovic and start posting on your wall. Facebook doesn't allow that. But I can go to James Bukovic, Mortgage Lender Allentown's, your fan page wall, and I can post there or engage with you there. All right. So what that looks like is this. So notice now that it shows that I'm logged in as Tampa Bay Redfish Tour, right? And in the news feed, only pages that I have liked as, or that Tampa Bay Redfish Tour has liked, is showing up here. Only the pages that I've liked there. So I drop down that little menu. There's that little drop down I was referring to up over here. And then when it dropped down, I selected the page I wanted to use Facebook as, and that logged me in as I selected Tampa Bay Redfish Tour. And once I did that, I clicked home, and now I'm looking at the news feed of the pages that Tampa Bay Redfish Tour has liked. That makes engaging with these other pages very easy. But that's not the coolest part about this. Here's the coolest part about this. You can also search for pages to begin engaging with. The search tool works the same way if you're logged in as your business page as it did when you were logged in as your own self or your regular profile, your personal profile on Facebook. So here's how to get the most out of your searches. In the search bar, type in the keywords you're looking for pages of. So what I did is I typed in real estate, and I didn't get the whole thing. I typed in real estate Palm Harbor was my actual search term. I wanted it localized. I wanted to specifically look for real estate Palm Harbor, but don't hit enter when you type in your words. At the bottom of what pops up, you're going to get this option. Do you see it down here where it says see more results for real estate? Click that see more results option instead, and what happens is now it's going to give you just a list of options. So for real estate, Palm Harbor, see more results, Palm Harbor Homes, Florida, there's 2,491 likes. Boom, like that. Palm Harbor Real Estate, they've got, looks like 5 reviews with 3.5 stars is their average, 681 like this. I can like it from right here. That's engaging. Now, don't think for a minute that if I like that, you know, especially somebody like this one, Palm Harbor Real Estate agent, he's only got 51 likes. If I like his page, don't think for a minute that he's not going to notice that my page just liked his page. He's going to get a notification. How many of you have ever noticed the notifications you get on your fan page when somebody likes it? You get a new notification, an activity report to let you know, hey, you've got 3 new likes. Hey, you've got 2 new likes. And you go and you look at those, don't you? Guess what? So do other businesses. And if you're liking it, if I go and like Palm Harbor Real Estate as Paul Baxter, the Palm Harbor mortgage man, guess what he's going to see? And I'm helping him. He sees me as helping him because I'm liking his page. I'm increasing his engagement level. Therefore, he's going to turn around and like me. Now I've got somebody that I can engage with on this business-to-business level. So when I do come into this little section, when I'm logged in as my business page and I'm looking at the news feed for it, I now have this new guy that I just liked today. He's part of my news feed, and I can begin to engage with him on a much higher level than I could before. It's a business-to-business engagement. Now we're able to start communicating with one another. Really, really cool strategy, guys, and I highly, highly recommend that you definitely do that. Purposeful planned implementation is what this whole thing is all about. You now have an easy way to focus your efforts on Facebook, right? Nice and easy. You know how to make a list. You know how to go in there and log in as your business page and start looking at other business pages and engaging. You've got an easy way to focus your efforts on Facebook. What I highly recommend, especially those that took the implementation steps from last week and have started creating that time block, even if it's just 1 or 2 days, I highly recommend that you add a block to your time block specifically for Facebook engagement. Maybe 30 minutes. You know, block it out. But don't, if you are going to do that, take Facebook off of your phone and only get on Facebook during those periods of time, unless, of course, you're on your personal time. Your personal time is your personal time. I'm just saying don't get caught in the trap of adding that to your time block and still being the person that's always checking Facebook on their phone every 20, 30 minutes. It's one or the other. Don't do both. Plan out your posts so that you don't even have to think about it. You don't even have to think about what you're going to be posting. You got it planned out, ready to go. Use Facebook as if you're using it for business, organize it just like any other part of your business. Plan out your engagement so that you don't even have to think about it. But most of all, plan it out so that it actually happens on a consistent basis. That's why you would set a purposeful planned implementation process for this to make sure that it actually happens consistently. Because I'm going to tell you what will happen to most of us on this call, and I don't mean this to be mean, and I hope you're not one of the ones that this happens to, but inevitably, most of us on this call, what's going to happen is we're going to take these ideas and we're going to right away go in there and we're going to create a list or two. Some of you may even go in there, log in as your business page, and start liking a whole bunch of real estate agent pages and engage just a little bit with them. You may even hop in there a couple of times this week and do your searches or filter your news feed by your friends' lists or filter your news feed by just the the pages that you've engaged with as your business, you'll even do those a couple of times. But if you do not add it to your time block, if you do not make it part of your everyday activities, it will last about 3 or 5 days, and then you'll forget a day. Oh, I forgot today. And then you'll do it the next day, and then you'll forget 2 days and 3 days and then 4 days. And at the end of 3 weeks, guess what's happening? Absolutely nothing. You're using Facebook in the same way you always did. You're just looking to see what's going on, and if something catches your eye, you post with it. You never post in your own engaging stuff. You're not thinking about it in a purposeful, planned fashion. You're no longer implementing. It's simply gone by the wayside. I'm sorry, but that is probably what's going to happen to most of us. Those that take the time to put it as part of their time block and really become consistent with this methodology or with their plan, I will promise you this, you will get results in a very short period of time from this type of strategy. One of the things that I to include in part of that plan needs to be, I call it the daily 10. You can call it whatever you want. You can put whatever number you want with it. I call it the daily 10 because that's a good minimum number that if you do this consistently, I will guarantee, and I don't use the word guarantee very often, but I will guarantee you'll get results. And when I say results, I'm talking about loans. You know, there is only one result that any of us really care about, and that's loans. So when you hear me say just you'll get results, I'm talking about you're going to get more loans. That's what I'm talking about. So the daily 10, what is that? Every day have 10 forms of engagement with your lists. So if you've got a list of past clients, what you want to do every day is go into that list and engage 10 times on the list. And it needs to be consistent. So if there's a group of 10 people that you want to focus on for the next few weeks, that's fine. And then switch it up after that depending on what kind of results you're getting. If you want it to be 20, if you want it to be 30, again, the number doesn't make much of a difference. It's about the consistency of what you're doing. Every day, get on that list, and maybe you make a bunch of lists and 10 on each list. But whatever it is, you're going to get on that list, and you're going to go through, and you're going to like, you're going to comment, and you're going to share with at least 10 posts from your list. So I've got a list of referral partners, right? So I go through and I filtered my news feed to only see the news feed of those referral partners, and I see that Jim is taking his wife for their anniversary dinner to the finest restaurant. They're going to Jordan's tonight. He waited 3 weeks, set up the reservation 3 weeks ago. He's got a table for 2 for his wife and his anniversary tonight at Jordan's. So my first engagement, boom. Hey, Jim, sounds like a great time with you and your lovely wife. Congratulations on a wonderful marriage, and here's to many more years to come. That's a simple engagement. I'm just kind of showing that I care. I see that James posted a picture of he was at the Little League World Series in Bethel this weekend, and he posted a picture of he and his son having a hot dog together on the grass hill. So I'm going to click the like button because I like that. And then Bill has a post of a picture of a horse that has a bunny rabbit riding on top of it, and the bunny rabbit says, "Can't you go any faster?" That made me laugh, so I shared that picture. So I did 3 engagements. I did a comment on Jim's, I did a like on James's, and I shared Bill's picture. That's 3, so I still got 7 more to go. Does that make sense, everybody? You're going to do what I call the daily 10. I've heard some others talk about 5, 5, and 5. 5 likes, 5 comments, 5 shares. However you want to organize it, the daily 10 if you put a number together, if you have it planned out, you will have a way to consistently deliver your message. So I call mine the Daily 10. Follow the posting for greatest method. Not sure what I meant by follow the posting for greatest method, but I put it on my PowerPoint for a reason. I'm sure it'll come back to me afterwards, but I cannot remember for the life of me why I put this little message here all of a sudden. That's interesting. Well, we'll delete that off of there. The point of what I'm trying to tell you on this slide is have a specific plan for how you're going to engage with those lists. I like the Daily 10 because I've got a specific number. That's about a half an hour worth of engagement, maybe not even a half an hour worth of engagement, depends on what I'm looking to say back. But I know I also have to create my own posts on my business page. So for my own posts on my business page, I like to go through a method, and this comes directly from research that was done on Facebook about when the most engagement actually takes place. Monday is a high activity day. For whatever reason, people are back to work. It's a high activity day. It's not the biggest, but it's definitely a high activity day. Tuesday and Wednesday are by far the least amount of activity engagement that happens on Facebook. By far the least amount of time, activity, engagement. It's just, they're not great days for stuff. So that's a great day for the funnies or industry updates where you talk about what the current rate is. It's not going to get a lot of engagement anyway, but it's a post and it's in, you're attempting to engage with your crowd. By far, and I do mean by far, Thursday is the single most high traffic, high engagement, the most amount of activity on Facebook is on Thursday. Of any day of the week, any time, Thursday is by a very wide margin the most activity day. That's the day you want to be more focused on what your post is, and your post should be something on Thursday that elicits or asks for engagement. It could be a question. Hey, if I could buy any house I wanted to, anywhere I wanted to, where would I buy it? Or, golly, there's lots of ways to ask it, pose a question, but you're posing questions. You're posing things like, what would you do if, had a client the other day that was ready to purchase a house. We were all the way down to the last little nitty-gritty, and they went out and purchased a car. What would you do if your new client purchased a car days before the closing? You maybe post that to your realtor group. That's a great one to post to your realtor group. You can do the fill in the blank kind of stuff. I never told anybody, I've never blank before. I've always wanted to blank. Those always get engagement. People love that kind of stuff. Friday, again, Thursday is the most engaged. It's the highest amount of traffic, activity, and engagement, so always put your engaging stuff there. And then Fridays are a great day for testimonials or Superman stories. For those that don't know what a Superman story is a story, kind of like Joy has a great one, for instance. I'm so glad I do what I do. It feels so great when a realtor calls you and tells you that 3 loan officers were not able to get this person into the home of their dreams. I was able to help them not only get into the home of their dreams, but save them thousands of dollars over the life of owning their home. I love what I do so much. That's a Superman story. Had a client that had less than stellar credit and didn't have the income necessary, through lots of negotiating and back and forth, we were able to get them into the home of their dreams. It makes me feel so good when I'm able to help somebody achieve their dream. That's a Superman story. Testimonials. If I got to tell you what a testimonial is, then we may have bigger problems. Testimonials are great to post, and you can actually ask people for those. You can ask people at closing, hey, would you mind going on to my Facebook page and saying a little something today for me? You know, hey, it was so great doing this with you. I'm super happy to have been able to help you. Would you mind going on my Facebook page and just say a little something about how the transaction went? People are more than willing to do that for you. So as far as a plan of attack, make sure you're doing your daily 10. Absolutely need to be doing your daily 10 to make sure you're consistently engaging with those that you need to be engaging with, to increase the number of referrals that you get, to increase your exposure with their friends and their networks. And then make a plan. That's what I meant. Follow the posting for greatness method. This is the posting for greatness method. So that's what I meant by follow the posting for greatness method. This is the posting for greatness method. I knew I put that in there for a reason. Follow the posting for greatness method. Monday, something motivational. Get them pumped up for the week. Tuesday and Wednesday, doesn't make too much of a difference. So, you know, throw something funny in there on a Tuesday, Wednesday. Make sure it's an industry update, something that has to do with mortgage business so they know that you're a mortgage guy. Thursday, do your engaging post, ask a question, do a fill in the blank, you know, post a comment about, hey, this is what this person said, here's how I feel about it, how do you feel? You know, ask those questions. Friday, testimonials or superhero stories or Superman stories. That's the posting for greatness method. And that's it. So guys, girls, you have some pretty easy ways to get out there and get engaging. I highly recommend, above and beyond anything else, utilize that friends list stuff. I'm going to tell you, this stuff is really, really cool. And I'm just kind of going over to my friends list here. I clicked on the more button. So I've got my different friends lists, right? So if I wanted to filter by that and only look at the news feed of what's going on there, I click on the button, and now I'm seeing a news feed of only the people who are on this list. Only the people who are on this list, and I can now begin to engage. I can do my daily 10 right to this list. The other thing I talked about is switching to your business page. So when you switch to your business page, again, you just drop down that little arrow, use Facebook ad, and all your pages will appear. You simply go in. Why is that sitting in front of it? Yes, it is. You simply go in and you switch to your business page. Now notice I went from Paul to now I'm using Facebook as Mortgage Mastermind Group, right? So I can go home and I can look at a news feed of what all I'm seeing with Mortgage Mastermind Group, or I can come into this search and I can say mortgage lender, see more results for mortgage lender, and now I'm seeing all these different pages of mortgage lenders. Now I can even break it down even further and just see pages if I want to, not individuals, and these are all pages of mortgage companies, right? I can start going in and I can start liking her page. I can like John's page. I can like those different pages. And now that I've liked those pages, now you'll notice that my news feed is filled up with content from what they've been posting, right? Super easy. Makes it, again, very easy for me to get back and start engaging. Now, if I want to go back, I simply drop down my menu. I use Facebook as Paul Baxter, and now I'm logged in as Paul Baxter on Facebook. And I see a couple questions have popped in. Let me answer these because I know we're running up against the clock here. So, is there a way to order my friends when I'm editing them so I know where I left off? In the view where I am now, there seems to be no rhyme or reason. So, when you go into your friends, if I simply click my friends, I can see all friends. This is all my friends. The rhyme or reason to these friends is based on when you liked them and whether or not. So you'll notice on mine I've got this little star here. Those are all close friends. If they're not starred, they're not part of that close friends group. And that was purposeful as I was adding new people. That adds them to the friends list. But what this kind of breaks down to is based on the people at the top of your list are the people you engage with the most. The people towards the bottom of your list are new people that you've added. Golly, you know what? It used to be that way, and I'm noticing now that it's not set up that way any longer. It used to be set up that it was people that you engaged with the most first, and then it started going in order of when you friended them all the way down to the end of the list, which is, you know, the people that you friended a long time ago, you don't ever engage with them. But I'm noticing that is no longer, that's no longer the case, guys. It's willy-nilly. I don't know. My assumption is based on activity level and based on engagement level. Because I've recently engaged with all the people you see up here towards the top of my list, I've recently engaged with them. And I was noticing as I got to the bottom, I haven't engaged with the people towards the bottom. No, I don't think there, Peggy, I don't think there is a way to organize a list like that. Now, I did notice when I went into, what was I in? I noticed something that was giving me the ability to reorder, but I don't think, no, that wasn't it. The thing I was thinking of, the ability to reorder stuff, was an edit bar. I can't even find it now, but it was allowing me to reorder the things in my on this right-hand side, so you can mess with that. But no, you can't organize your friends any way. They, you know, I believe it's based on engagement. It's a good idea to do, and that way you've got lists. And once you've got them all marked as realtors, borrowers, family, etc., you can then go in there and you can say, you know, you only want to look at the borrowers this week. You click on that borrowers list, and boom, that news feed is nothing but borrowers now. It's only borrowers, and they're engaging stuff. So, yeah, it's a pain in the butt, but it is more than worth it. Peggy, I don't know that I would do it the way that you're doing it. Well, actually, yeah, because you're trying to make sure you don't leave anybody out. So that is, you know, unfortunately, it's a good, easy way to do it. So what she's doing, let me come in here. Let me go see all friends. So she's kind of going through, and like she gets one like Brian, she add to close friends or add to another list, and all your lists come up here. That's what I was mentioning earlier, is you can add friends to it, and I didn't have a slide for it. So you can do that. Let's see if this is tagged correctly. Nope. It was not. So yeah, it is a one-at-a-time thing, unfortunately. I wish there was a better way, my dear. I wish there was a better way. There really isn't. I wish there was. How does one go from, this is a great question. from James. How does one go from having 50 friends on Facebook to 200 to 400, etc.? The best and easiest way to do it is you've got a little section. When you come to home, you're going to have a little section over here on the left-hand column. Now, I don't have one anymore because my member base has gotten up high enough that it doesn't show me this any longer. But somewhere over on this right-hand side, you're going to get a section that says people you may know. People you may know. Each time you send a friend request, you're also going to get a people you may know. I highly recommend in the beginning, go through that and just friend every person you possibly can think of, every person that it shows you in the people you may know, because you want your network to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay? You can also go in and you can look for your LinkedIn connections and you can send them friend requests as well. But it's all about you doing the viral thing, going out and just asking as many people to become friends with you as possible. And it's real easy to do when you're going to grow that number. So you could also go into one of your friends. Like if I want a whole bunch of friends, I could go into Carlos here. And I could go see Carlos's friends. And then when I go to look at any of my friends, James, you'll notice when you go into their friends, you'll see a people you may know section. And then it'll bring up anybody that may be a mutual friend or is somebody that you know. Or people that you'd like to connect with in some way, shape, or form. And you just start sending those friend requests. And you can do it that way. So go to somebody that's got a lot of friends and see if there's any people you may know, and you should be good to go there. Boys and girls, that is all the time I have for today. I really, really hope you got a little something out of today's class. If anything else, go in there and start creating your list. Start making your list as much as you possibly can. Keep your lists, what's the word? Keep your lists clean. Remove and add people fairly regularly. Look, this is a real strategy that can really generate you a real result, a lot of money, a lot of, you can do business on Facebook. We've been talking about it for years that it's all about engagement. That's what generates the business on Facebook. People want to engage with you on a personal level. What we talked about today is an easy way to manage and organize that so that you can focus on who the right people to engage with are and how to engage with them properly. Okay? Guys, girls, thank you so much for spending your afternoon with me today. I know you could be anywhere you wanted to be, and you chose to spend this hour right here with me on the Daily Mastermind. We greatly appreciate it. Again, I'm Paul Baxter with the Mortgage Mastermind Group, and we are here to help you grow. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, boys and girls, and we will see you right back here, same time, same channel tomorrow. Have a good day, everybody.